Hi all, welcome to the exam revision questions discussion on the chapter Large Number Around Us for grade 7 students. So it's a very easy chapter. I'm sure all of you know the chapter very well. So today we are going to discuss some important questions from this chapter. Okay. So I hope all of you are ready with a pen and paper and we'll be doing questions side by side. Okay. So the first question we have is multiple choice questions. Okay, we have different type of questions. So first one is a multiple choice question. So what is it? You have to write this number, that is 58,423,202 in numerals. Okay, so it's million. So it's the international system of numbers. So what does a million have? Million has 6 zeros. So 58 million will have 58 followed by 6 zeros. What is remaining? 423,000. So how will you write 423,000? 423 followed by 3 zeros. Then we have remaining 202. So you write 202 also. You add all of this. So you will get what? 58,423,202. So which is the correct option here? Option A. Okay. Now going on to the second question. What is the difference between the place value and the face value of digit 7 in the number? Okay, which is the number? 97,453,210. I am telling in the international system. Okay. So here, first we have to find the place value of 7. Where is 7 standing here? It is in the which place? Million place, right? What is 1 million? 6 zeros. So 7 followed by 6 zeros we can write here. That will be the place value of 7. What is the face value of 7? Face value of 7 is 7 itself, right? So face value of 7 is 7. So you minus 7 million minus 7. So what do you get? 6,999,993. That will be option C. Okay. Very easy questions. Now the third question we'll take. Okay. Here, a bottle of medicine, it contains 200 ml of syrup. How many bottles can be filled from a container holding 50 liters of syrup? That is the question. So here, 50 liters of syrup total we have, and we have to, each bottle medicine contains 200 ml of syrup. So here, first of all, it is different in quantities. It's 50 liters and 200 ml. So we'll convert first the liters into milliliter. 1 liter is equal to 100,000 ml, right? 1000 ml. So 50 liters into 1000 ml will be 50,000 milliliter. Okay, so 50,000 milliliter is the total volume. And what is the volume per bottle? It is 200 ml as in the question. So you will do, what will you do? Total volume divided by the volume of bottle. So it will be 50,000 divided by 200, which is 250. So the answer is D. I hope it's clear for all of you. Okay. Now we'll go on to the fourth question in the MCQ session. That is, a factory produces 12,825 screws per day. Approximately, how many screws will it produce in a month of 30 days? Estimates by rounding to nearest thousand. So we have 12,825. How will we round 12,825? We can round it to 13,000, right? So we'll round it to 13,000. And so it's 13,000 it produces a day. And how much should we find? How many screws will we produce in a month of 30 days? So 13,000 into 30, which will be 3,90,000. So the option is C. Now, the fifth question. Okay. So, which of the following number correctly shows this? Okay, you have to find the Indian system here. So here, in one option, it is million there. We needn't even look at that because that will never give you the option. Because in Indian system, million is not there, right? Now we'll count. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, lakhs, 10 lakhs, crore. Right. So it is 8 crore, 53 lakh, 4,976, which is option B. Okay, that is how you find. You have to first find which is Indian system or international system. Then you can count the place values and then find the suitable option. So these are the 5 MCQ questions. Okay, now we're going to assertion and reason type questions. So first question here. What is the assertion? The estimated product of 589 and 219, rounding each numbers nearest to 100, nearest 100. We are rounding it nearest 100. And the answer is they are telling it's 1,20,000. That is the assertion. Reason is to estimate results, we round off the numbers to convenient place value to make calculations simple. That's what the reason says. First, we'll check if the assertion is true. So 589 is rounded to nearest 100. So what will it be? It will be 600. 213, we are now nearing into 100. It will be 200. So 600 into 200 will be 1,20,000. So assertion is true. Now, reason. To estimate results, we round off numbers to convenient place value to make calculation simple. Isn't that what we did? So that is also true. Both of them are true and they are the correct explanation also. So it will be A. That is assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay. So it will be option A. Now we'll go on to the second one. Here the assertion is the number can be formed by subtracting 1 from the number. Okay, that which is the number here? 1 million, right? 1 followed by 6 zeros. So, and the reason is the successor of a number is obtained by adding 1 to it, and the predecessor is obtained by subtracting 1 from it. Okay. What is the assertion? Subtracting 1 from this number, 1 million can be formed by subtracting 1 from this 9,99,999. What will happen actually when you subtract 9,99,999? It will be 9,99,998, right? We are subtracting, so the number will be less. So this is false. Now the reason. Successor. What is a successor? You add a number to it. So that's true. Predecessor, you subtract. So the reason is actually true. So assertion is false and reason is true. The option is D. Okay. Now, question 3. In the Indian system, the number is written like that. There is a comma placement. Isn't the comma placement right? That is how we do it in the Indian system, right? So that is true. What is the reason here? In the Indian system of numeration, commas are used to mark thousands, 10 lakhs, and then crores. The first comma after 3 digits from the right, and the next commas come after 2 digits. That's exactly how we place the commas. So what assertion is true and reason is also true, and it's a correct explanation also. So the answer is A. So we have come to the end of the assertion and reason and type questions. Now we have very short answer questions. So the very easy questions. So write this number in expanded form. Okay. So first we'll count how many zeros are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 10 million, right? So we'll write 90 million first. Then what do we have? Rest. 800,000, right? We have 800,000. Then we have 70,000. Then we have 50. Then we have 4. That is how you expand. There are zeros there. Zeros does not have anything. So you didn't write that. That's how you do it. Okay. Now, how many lakhs make a billion? That's the question. Okay, we'll try to do it. So 1 billion is how many crores? 1 billion is 100 crores. Okay. And 1 crore is 100 lakhs. So 1 billion is 100 crores. And 1 crore is 100 lakhs. So 100 into 100, which will be 10,000 lakhs. Okay. Now, third question. I hope till now it's really clear for everybody. Now, a machine on an average manufactures 2,825 screws a day. How many screws does it produce in the month of January? It's a very easy question. One day it produces 2,825. Okay. And what will be January? In January, first for that, we need to find how many days are there. January, there are 31 days. So, screws produced into number of days. So, 2,825 into 31, which will be 87,575. Okay, this is the answer. When you multiply, you will get that answer. Okay. Now, in question 4. The distance between two towns, there are two towns, and the distance between them is 55 kilometer and 450 meters. Express this distance in centimeter. What we have to do, we have to convert it to centimeter. Okay. So first what will we do? Was 1 kilometer and meter is there. We know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. And 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. This we already know. Okay. So it's 55 kilometers. So first we'll convert kilometers into meters. So 55 into 1000. 55,000 meter. Then 55,000 meter plus 450 meter. Right. So it will be what? 55,450 meter. Now everything we converted into meter. Now meter we can easily convert into centimeter, right? What is 1 meter? 100 centimeters. This number into 100 will give you what? 5,545,000 centimeter. So this is the answer. Okay. You first convert kilometer into meter. Then we added that answer to that 450 meter we had it there. Now everything is in meter. Now meter will convert into centimeter. Now the last very short answer question. Find the product of the place values of the two fives here. We have to find the product. Okay. For that first we have to find the place value of the two fives. The first 5 is here and the second 5 is here. Okay. The first 5 is what? In the millions place. So 5 into 1 million. That will be 5 million. The place value of the second 5 is thousands. Right. So 5 into 1000. 5,000. We have to 5 million into 5,000. So we will get this number. Okay. Clear. You just multiply. That's easy. Now we have short answer questions. Okay. Now regarding short answer question, there will be word problems. So make sure you very well read the question. Okay, the answer will be in the question itself. If you read the question properly, you will get the answer. So in an election, the successful candidate registered how many votes? 5,77,500 votes. And his next rival, that is his opposite candidate, he secured 3,48,700. So by what margin did the successful candidate win the elections? In election, one of the candidates secured 5,77,500 votes and the other candidate secured 3,48,700. So you have to find how much votes. By how much votes did the other candidate win? So what we have to do? We have to subtract. When we subtract, we'll know what is the difference of votes both of them have. That will be the margin anyway, right? So here, successful candidate has this much votes. Rival candidate has this much votes. Successful candidate minus the rival candidate. Rival meaning opposite, okay? Opposite candidate, we'll minus. We'll get 2,28,800. That is the answer for the margin, okay? Just subtract the votes got by both the candidates. You will get the margin they want. So, next question. I hope this question is clear. A student multiplied 7,236 by 65 instead of multiplying by 56. So, by how much was his answer greater than the correct answer? As an exam, sometimes we have careless mistakes. What the student did was, he actually wanted to do what? This. What he wanted to do was this, but what he did was this. So what you have to do, you have to find the answers for both. Okay. Into 65, he did and he got the incorrect answer. Okay, 4,70,340. What was the correct answer was 4,05,216. So the question is, how much difference is there from the incorrect answer to the correct answer? So what will you do? Subtract. Subtract from the biggest to the smallest. Always you have to subtract from the big number to the small number, right? So when you subtract like that, you will get 65,124. That is the subtraction. That is the difference. Third question. Here, to stitch a shirt, 2 meter 15 centimeter of cloth is needed. Okay, this much cloth is needed to stitch a shirt. Out of a 40 meter cloth roll, the total there are 40 meter of cloth roll. How many shirts can be stitched and how many cloth will be remaining? So total there is 40 meter of cloth roll, and for one shirt you need 2 meter and 15 centimeter of clothes. So how many shirts can you stitch and how many cloth will be remaining? So first what we'll do, we'll convert the meter into centimeter. Always when you have conversions, convert it into the lowest quantity possible. Here we have 1 centimeter, right? 15 centimeter. So always convert it into centimeter. So it's always easier to do. So 40 meter meaning 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So 40 into 100, 4000 centimeter total length of the road. Cloth needed for 1 shirt, 2 meter and 15 centimeter. 2 meter is what? 2 into 100, which will be 200 centimeter. Plus we have 115. So plus 15 centimeter, which is equal to 215 centimeter. Okay, number of shirts. How will you find the number of shirts? Total cloth by cloth required for a shirt. You have to divide. So when you divide, total cloth was 4000. 1 shirt was 215. You will get what? You will get a quotient of 18 and a remainder of 130. Okay, so quotient you got 18 there. So means 18 shirts can be stitched. And you got a remainder of 130. Meaning what? 130 centimeter is remaining. 130 centimeter is what? 1 meter 30 centimeter. Okay, so the quotient will be your answer and the remainder will be what? How much cloth is remaining. That's how you do. Okay, so short answer is completed. Now we have long answer questions. Long answer questions are those word problems. Sometimes it'll be tricky for you, but always keep in mind what? You have to look at the numbers. What and all is given in the question. That's the main thing. Okay, so we'll read the question. A merchant has rupees 78,592. She has this much rupees. And she placed an order for purchasing what? 40 radio sets. And each radio set has rupees 1,200 each. How much money will remain after the purchase? So what is the main question? To understand the problem, we need to calculate the money which is remaining in that. So how to find the money remaining? For that, we have to find how much money she spent. How much did she spend? She bought 40 radio sets at 1,200 rupees each. So you have to find the amount at which she purchased the radios. And then you can subtract that amount from the amount she usually had. So when you subtract that, you will get the remaining amount. So first, cost of total cost. How much she spent we are going to find. Cost of 1 radio set, 1,200. How many did she buy? She bought 40. So total will be 40 into 1,200 will be 48,000. So for 48,000 rupees she bought. The total cost she has is 48,000. Now, remaining money. How much money should she have in the initial? 78,592. How much did she spend? 48,000. So how much will be remaining? You will minus 78,592 minus 48,000. That will be 30,592. That is the amount remaining. Okay, it's a very easy question. If you learn the question, like read the question very well, it's very easy. Now, next question. A vessel has 4 liters and 500 ml of curd. Okay, 4 liters and 500 ml the curd vessel has. In how many glasses each of 25 ml capacity can it be filled? So what is it? We have curd. We have a large vessel of curd and we have many glasses also. Each glass is 25 ml. That much only curd it can hold. Okay, so the vessel has 4 liters and 500 ml. So what is the smallest quantity here? Ml. So we'll convert everything into a single unit. That's the first step. Capacity of the vessel, 4 liters and 500 ml. 1 liter is, this is very important, okay? 1 liter is 1000 ml. So 4 liters will be 4,000. 4 into 1000, 4,000 ml. We have 500 also. So 4,000 plus 500. That will be 4,500 ml. Okay, ml is an ml. 500 is an ml itself. That's why we added here, okay? We converted this liters into ml and then we added this 500 to it. So we got 4,500 ml. Converted it. Now, calculating the number of glasses. How many glasses? How will you find? Total capacity by the capacity of 1 glass. So capacity of 1 glass is 25 ml. Total capacity is 4,500. Number of glasses. Total capacity minus 1 glass. How much it will hold? That will be 45,000 divided by 25. It will be 180. So what does it mean? 180 glasses the curd can be filled. Okay, that will be total. Then the curd will be over. Now, the next long answer question. Now here, I hope now it's clear. Just look at only the numbers. By the numbers, understand the question, it'll very easily you can find. Okay. So population of a town was this much. What is the number? How will you read the number here? 1,98,56,450. That much people were there in the town in the year 2021. In the year 2022, it was increased by 72,952. It was increased by, that means this is not the population. It was increased by this. That means the older population plus this amount. That much it was increased by the year 2022. Okay. And in 2022, they found out the number of males were 98,34,275. Now we have to find the number of females in the town. Okay. So population will be male and female, right? So now we have males, so we need to find the female. So for that, first what you need? First we need what is the population now in 2022? So for that, finding the population in 2022. In 2021, what was it? This. Sorry. 1,98,56,440 was the population. It was increased by, what was the increase? 72,958 increased. So add the old population increased this much. So that increase plus the old population you will add. So what will you get? This 1,99,29,408. That is the current population. Now we have to find the females. What is already given? Number of males is already given, right? So if males is given, to find the females, it is easy, right? Total population, you can subtract the number of males. You subtract the number of males from that, you will get. So this is the total population. Number of males was this. That's 98,34,275. And you subtracted this. That will be 1,95,133. This is the number of females. Okay, first we found out what is the population in 2022. We already in the question it was males were given. So the total population minus the males, you got the number of females. That is how we find the question. Now we have case study. So first case study is about newspaper agency. Okay, it's a story. Take always case study like story. Okay, that will be more interesting. So newspaper agency. What does the newspaper agency do? The newspaper agency distributes 35,840 newspapers every day. Every day, the agency is distributing this much newspapers. Okay. Each newspaper has 16 pages. Each newspaper has 16 pages. The agency is working 30 days a month. So this much newspaper every day the agency is selling. Each newspaper the agency is selling as 16 pages. The agency is working 30 days a month. How many total pages are printed by the agencies every day? That's the first question. Okay. So how many papers it is printing? 35,840. One paper has how many pages? 16. So total number of pages will be number of papers into pages in the newspaper. That will be 35,840 into 16, which will be 5,73,440. Okay, that is the question. Now we'll go to the B question. How many newspapers are distributed by agency in a month? In a day, how many? 35,840. How many days does the agency work in a month? 30. So, total newspapers will be number of newspapers a day into number of days. 35,840 into 30, which will be what? You got the answer. When you multiply, you will get the answer. Okay. Now, C question. Total cost of, what is the question? If the cost to print one page was 50 paise, okay, one page to print it is 50 paise. What is the total cost of printing all the newspapers in one day? And we want the answer piece that is also given. Okay. So first we have to find how many pages are printed. How many pages are printed? We already found this much pages are printed per day. So we write that. One day, one page it is 50 paise. So total cost in paise will be what? You multiply 5,73,440 into 50. So it will be 28,67,000 and 2,000. No, No, sorry. It'll be 2 crore 86 lakhs and 2,000 paise. Okay, I'm sorry. That will be the paise. So, how much is 1 rupee? 1 rupee is 100 paise. Paise is not there now, so you most probably will not have learned. So, paise was a very old money, okay? So, 1 rupee was 100 paise. So, what will you do? You'll divide the 100. Paise is a big amount. So, it will be not a big amount, it will be the quantity will be very large. So 1 rupee will be dividing by 100 and you will get this amount. 2,86,720. That will be the amount to print one day. Now the last question, case study 2, that is school library book purchase. So school will decide to buy new books for its library. The school has a total grant, that is the total amount which is allotted for the school is 25 lakh. They decided to buy what? 5,250 storybooks costing rupees 215 each and 3,500 science books costing 320 each. That is what they planned. They have 25 lakhs. They thought they'll buy 5,250 storybooks each costing 215 rupees each and 3,500 science books costing rupees 320 each. What is the total cost of purchasing all the storybooks? So how many storybooks are bought? 5,250. One book, 250. Multiply both, you will get the answer of the total cost of storybooks. Now, second question. Total cost of purchasing all the science books. How many science books are bought? 3,500. How much does a book cost? 320. Multiply, you will get the answer. Now, how much money is left from the grant? For that, first we have to find how much money we did spend. So how much money we spent? We spent cost of storybooks and cost of science books. That was the money spent. We'll add them both. We'll add the money spent for storybooks. We'll add the money spent for science books. And we got 22,48,750. So this much money we spent. So what is the money left? Total grant was 25 lakh. So from 25 lakh, we'll subtract the money which we spent. So you will get the amount. That will be 2,51,250. That is the amount which is left in the bank. Okay, for the school. So I hope all the questions are clear. We did discuss many type of questions. We discussed MCQ, assertion and reason, very short answer, long answer. Then we did case study also. Okay, so I hope all the questions are very clear for you. And make sure you do maximum problems while going for the exam and revise these problems once again, do the problems once again. Okay, so bye. All the best for your exams. Bye-bye.